You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
After quite an exciting and exhilarating warm-up, it's time for the start of the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K 2018. Last year in Montego Bay, it was just about 4,000 people who decided to run, walk or wheel. This year, they almost doubled that number with 7,000, just about 7,000 participants this year. So we're here at the starting lineup, and Business Access TV will bring you highlights from all the sponsors, all the booth holders, and lots of action from the podium, from the start line to the finish line, right now on Business Access TV, serious about business.
We strive to make life better for our people, and as we strive to raise funds for our respective medical institution, I say to you here this evening that you are here for the right cause. And to hear that we have moved from 4,000 last year to over 7,000 this year, you must give yourself a big round of applause. So I say to you this evening, I know this evening will be a very good evening for all of us. And Montego Bay, we are enjoying a level of peace and stability and love. So I'm saying to you here this evening, enjoy yourself, enjoy the race. Guardian Life, you are doing an extremely good job for the health sector, not only in Montego Bay, but across Jamaica. So once again, one love, everything best from Montego Bay. Thank you.
Wheelchair, on your mark.
When you talk about being fit for business, Eric Hussein takes it to another level. And he is the president, of course, of the Guardian Group. Now, Mr. Hussein, first and foremost, congratulations on another successful execution in Montego Bay, and congratulations on finishing this evening as a runner.
Oh, well, we want to say thanks to everyone. It was fantastic here. Last year we had over 4,000, and it was declared the largest run outside of Kingston. And this year we have approximately 7,000. That's just amazing, the growth rate. So really, Kingston, look out. Moby, and I tell you, the vibes down here is just great. A great run, great event, you know, just really thankful. It's a worthy cause. Cornwall Regional, big new in the news. St. Anne's Bay Hospital, University Hospital of the West Indies, who were the original co-conceptualizers, and then Mandeville Hospital. You know, the equipment is just greatly needed, and we, private sector as well as individuals, really need to play a part, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. Now, you spoke about the almost 4,000 last year. You almost doubled that this year. What do you think is responsible for that almost 100% growth?
Boy, I tell you, we have a fantastic team of persons working to make this event a success. And I think the people have caught on to the vibes and realized that this is really a great way to give back, give back, because the lives we save, maybe just our lives. The equipment that we buy, we all 100% of the income goes to the hospitals. Also to charities run by Kiwanis, Rotary, several other clubs. So it's not just the hospitals, several clubs with their charities are also benefiting. And I think people are buying in more and more to the fact that, hey, this is a great way to keep your body alive, as well as to save lives.
Marsha, first and foremost, congratulations on getting past the finish line. Describe the challenge tonight for you.
I wouldn't say it was challenging. I'm so overwhelmed for entering because it's for a worthy cause. Corner Regional really needs the help. And I'm representing Team NCB for Guardian 5K run.
So you finished within the top 100. Are you a competitive runner generally?
Not really, but I do run in the evenings and exercise a lot.
High voltage, high voltage, wire. High voltage, high voltage, right now. Watch your wire, watch your wire, watch your wire. Watch your wire, watch your wire, watch your wire. High voltage, high voltage. High voltage, high voltage, wire.
How are you tonight?
I'm fine. It's a wonderful night.
Yes, indeed it is. You almost doubled the number of participants over last year.
Absolutely. It's really awesome.
Describe for us the marketing campaign on the ground, mobilizing the teams, the different corporate entities, the private individuals. What was that process like?
Well, of course, as you can imagine, it's a lot of work to do. I mean, in terms of marketing, we use a lot of social media. We reach out a lot to the people on the ground because, Montego Bay is its own city and it requires its own individual attention. And so that is how we get a lot of the word. And of course, word of mouth, the ads on radio in particular. So all of those things just help to make the turnout so wonderful.
Of course, you did make mention of having to collaborate with a variety of entities, the police, the municipality. How different is that in Montego Bay versus Kingston, or is it different?
It's really not that much different. I mean, obviously we need all the stakeholders on site to make this event safe and wonderful, and that's what we have been able to achieve tonight.
Describe the contribution made by NYS by Heart to the Guardian Group's Keep It Alive 5K in Montego Bay.
Well, first of all, we are all about volunteerism, and this is just another chance for us to volunteer. We were approached by Guardian, and of course we had to say yes to such an initiative. We know how important it is, and of course we have our volunteers who are always ready, willing to go, and this is just a great initiative. We have contributed volunteers in the Montego Bay leg as well as the Kingston leg, and we have been having a wonderful time contributing. And of course, this is a part of the new Learn, Earn, Give and Save initiative under the Prime Minister's Hope initiative, and we've been just having a wonderful time. And of course our participants, they are learning, and of course they're volunteering, giving, saving.
Now, what's the big benefit to the participants, as in the volunteers, and what's the big benefit to Heart?
Well, I think the biggest benefit is to be able to teach our young people to volunteer, how important it is. The volunteers, they benefit from being a part of these events. They contribute volunteer hours. Some of them are a part of different programs in Hartress and in NYS. So this is just a great way for them to contribute. They get to network. Trust me, they're having a great time and they're learning skills as they go along.
Anthony, clearly this is not your first time participating in this kind of activity. Describe the run for yourself tonight.
Well, last time was a better time, I clocked in 27th minute. Last time was 19.7, which I planned not to give it to my hall this time. But anyway, it was a good run, and right now I feel like I have more energy to run again.
You should probably head on to Kingston and participate in some of those runs there.
Just because I work. Yeah. If it was in Montego Bay, maybe I'll give it an next try.
What's your word of encouragement to your friends, your colleagues here in Montego Bay and across Jamaica as it relates to participating in activities like these for a worthy cause?
Well, it's best to do that, because we have a lot of need the help. So while we do it, it's just for the needy and the help of all the citizens of Jamaica.
Dr. Graham, you ran tonight. Yes. Did you time yourself?
I actually did not, because it was about keeping people alive, and so my effort is to keep them alive, not to keep me alive, although it's doing my body well.
Right.
But I figure I'm somewhere about a half an hour. It was a zigzag race and a lot of people, and of course, it's not about competing, it's about finishing.
Good. Now, it's really good that you've participated. Do you encourage the rest of the UDC team? How many are there others from your UDC team who are here tonight? What's that number looking like?
Yeah, we have about a dozen people. Our Mobay office is not that big, our Western region. We decided to participate in the Western race this year as opposed to the usual Kingston race because Mobay is our second city, and we also have a lot of projects down here in Mobay. The beachfront park and the beaches that are being redeveloped. And of course, we wanted to show Jamaica that we believe in what the run is about, and also that there's community participation. So we drove down and we joined the Mobay team that is here, and we're having a great time.
With us now, we have a group of friends from Montego Bay. We've got Shanakay, Shanice, Shanoy, and Joy. And they all ran tonight in different sections. So let's hear a little bit from them. All right, let's start with you, Shanoy. Why did you choose to run tonight?
For the exercise, the fitness. So I'm giving the body shape. Summer is up.
Yes.
So I'm giving the body shape.
Oh, so you're sculpting yourself for the summer?
Exactly.
Today is June 2. The summer has already begun.
Exactly.
Are you ready for the summer?
Almost.
Almost. All right. Shanakay, is your motivation similar to that of Shanoy?
The same, and also for the fun and the pictures.
For the fun and the?
Pictures.
The fun and the pictures. Where can we find your pictures?
On Facebook, Shanakay Brown, Instagram, Sugar Pretty Natural, and that's practically it.
And now you're on Business Access TV. Let's talk with, this is Joy, right? Oh, Shanice, my apologies. Shanice, so some are running for the fitness, some are running for, obviously, the likes. Are you doing it for the love?
Well, as my friend said, we are doing it for the fitness of the body, the fun, the enjoyment, and the vibes, and also for the support.
Joy, now, I don't hear anybody mention the fact that participating goes towards the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Is that where your motivation lies?
Charity. For charity and also to keep my body in shape.
Do you normally participate?
Summer body as well.
Do you normally participate in activities such as this?
Yes, this is my second year. I also did the UTech race. That was me. Yeah, I did the UTech race. So this is my second year in the Guardian Life.
All right, great. Again, it's always wonderful when you can have a group of friends participating for a worthy cause and so many other areas of motivation. It's all about the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K in Montego Bay 2018. Among the beneficiaries of the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K is the Cornwall Regional Hospital. And with me now I've got Ms. Gillian Legister, and she's the Director of Nursing Services. And we also have the Senior Medical Officer, Dr. Derek Harvey. Let's start with you, Dr. Harvey. Almost 7,000 participants, a target of about 22 million, of which the hospital will get a share to improve conditions. We know the circumstances facing the workers and the overall condition of the hospital. But just speak to us a little bit about how much this means to you and the hospital.
Well, each year we are beneficiaries of what goes on here. Last year we managed to get an operating theatre table. We got some pediatric equipment, which is very necessary. I understand the problems which Cornwall has, but we live with the hope that we will get back to normal. What happens, we have a pre-selected list of vital equipment, and events such as these go a far way in helping the patients who we look after and also improving the services.
Now, Mr. Legister, Director of Nursing Services, we know the hours that you put in, the conditions in which you work under. Just describe for us some of the benefits and what you're looking forward to most following this run.
Okay, certainly the benefits that we look forward to certainly includes the provision of vital equipment for patient care, such as incubators and monitors for our patients. And these are well-needed equipment that we need for everyday patient care.
Dr. Harvey, your word of encouragement to corporate entities in the Western region and for other just private individuals to participate in events such as these.
We are quite encouraged by what we see. Certainly corporate entities coming on board not only improve the healthcare at Cornwall, but health in general. We are inviting everyone to come on board. Health is a national issue. There are various aspects to health, as you know, being promoted by the ministry. Certainly events such as these go a far way. The more persons, the better. It shows community spirit. Certainly gathering persons here is not only to do with the donation of equipment, but something like this, as somebody said, is a social event. It highlights what is going on. It's one of those areas which persons look forward to on an annual basis, coming out to support, knowing fully well that they're supporting events such as a hospital and other things.
With us now is Mr. Steve Hemmings, and he is a member of the Montego Bay community who has benefited significantly from the work delivered at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Now, Mr. Hemmings, you participated tonight, you walked tonight. Just describe the reasons behind your participation.
Oh, why I do this, you know, if I'm in the hospital, Cornwall Regional Hospital, 3 times, I'm a patient there. I was a patient there. I do 2 surgeries up there. So that's why I do it to help the hospital. My first year this in this one. I do other one, but my first year this. I enjoy this 500%.
What did you enjoy most about participating tonight?
The walking.
Yes.
I walk. I know I walk so far for this long time. I walk, you know. Yes. I used to work at Freeport Police Station, but I retire now. But I walk. I couldn't be some walk and reach back at finishing line.
Given the amount of walking, the distance you walk tonight, will that encourage you to walk even more on a regular basis at this kind of pace?
Okay, this is the walk that I do tonight, you know. Very important because I have blood pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
Before I start, I don't feel it, and before I done, I don't feel it. And I used to feel it when I used to walk. Then I walk on this to this and I feel it start at me. So that's why I benefit this, and I can't wait till next year.
With us now is one of the patrons of the Guardian Group, Keep It Alive 5K, Dr. Sarah Lawrence. Sarah, another wonderful staging.
Full of vibes and energy. I am so happy.
So, almost 4,000 people last year, just shy of 7,000 this year. What do you think kind of drove that massive increase?
Oh my God, I don't know what it is, but I thank God. But actually, I really feel like, you know, the Guardian Group just keeps mobilizing and getting bigger and better and getting it out there that this run, this effort is something that can affect every single Jamaican. Because unfortunately, at some time, we all have to interface with the hospital, and it's a system that's lacking. And they have just been committed to fortifying our hospitals with equipment. And I mean, it just warms my heart because I get to see it on both sides, you know? Yeah.
So, and let's talk a little bit about that, because you work in the healthcare system and you see the challenges on a day-to-day basis. Please, direct an appeal to private citizens, to corporate entities, to really deliver where we need it most.
Absolutely, because, you know, it's very rarely we'll have, you know, some people think if something happens, them go fly out. That's not the reality. The reality is that when something happens, the time is a very time-sensitive thing. So if you come to the University Hospital or any of the hospitals in the area and you don't have a simple thing like a blood pressure monitor or the CT scan is down or something like that, it's really something that can be very detrimental. But you know, the Guardian Group saw the need and they are committed. But enough more needs to be done. So it's something that is ongoing, and we are always welcoming contributions because our healthcare system is in dire need.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
With us now is Mr. Leo Garrell, and he is the CEO of the St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Mr. Garrell, tonight must mean a lot to you because it's the second leg of the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K, and the hospital is a beneficiary.
Yes, it is. It is a special time for us, always. Well, this is what, the 4th year? Yes, it's always special for us.
So the big focus recently in the news would have been the Cornwall Regional Hospital and all the troubles there. They still remain open, they still remain functional. Are there, could you share with us some of the unique challenges being faced at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital?
Well, part of the challenge is the fact that Cornwall has challenges because we refer patients to Cornwall. We are a type B hospital, meaning that we don't offer all the services that our patients need. So we refer to Cornwall, which is a type A hospital. Now, when they have problems, then I have problems. That means I can't transfer some of my patients there. So I now have to find other places, maybe like KPH or UE to help me. So yes, they have problems, I have problems too. And part of those, well, we have, most of us have the same problems. We have transportation problems, sometimes equipment problems, but it's part for the course, yes.
So Guardian has galvanized support across the island in this fashion, Kingston and Montego Bay. But being in St. Anne's Bay, along the north coast, of course, which is let us call it the tourism belt of the island, are you getting support from tourist-related entities, hotels and other types of institutions? Describe that for us.
Yes, all right. So you have the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the Runaway Bay OTRS chapter. We are actually a part of that group. And so they do a lot of things for us. Every Labor Day they come in and they do some works in the hospital. But throughout the year, they also do other things for us. So we are fully involved with them. They have sort of adopted us, you know, which are very happy. And we work with them. They try to help us meet our needs so that, because they themselves benefit from it, you know. They're going to send the tourists to us, so they want to make sure that our facility is up to standard. So when the tourists come, they can be well taken care of.
Second place male, Dwayne Graham. And the winner, are you ready for this? 15 minutes, 24 seconds. Only by seconds, put your hands together for the man I call GG. Garfield Gordon. In 3rd place, female, it goes to none other than Juliet Reeves. Congratulations to Juliet Reeves, 36 minutes, 39 seconds. 2nd place, Legene Wallace. And the winner, 5K walk in 35 minutes, 51 seconds. It goes to Georgiana Fenton. Congratulations. 2nd place, 26 minutes flat. Duel Allen, who keeps on doing well. 3rd place male. Get ready, Kelsa. 26 minutes. Walk with about, you know. 26 seconds. We're looking for Anthony Burrows. And the winner, who walked 25 minutes, 33 seconds. Andre Smith. On a clap, Andre Smith, please.
Congratulations, Garfield. How was the run for you today?
Well, it was a challenging run for me with my teammate, Ocean Archibald. Yeah, but I put in all the work from a couple months ago, so I know I'm in a good shape to win.
Is this your first time running in Montego Bay?
No, my 2nd time.
How did you do on your previous run?
Well, my last one was 15-19 in Kingston. And it was a great one, but this one was more challenging.
What's the big challenge about this one when you compare it to Kingston?
Well, my teammate, as I said, Ocean Archibald, yeah, he gave me a good challenge.
So of course you run for fitness, but also you're contributing to a worthy cause. What do you have to say to other Jamaicans who want to run competitively or just want to run for the cause?
Well, it's a great experience for both run for the cause and run competitively.
How are you feeling about your second place finish?
Yeah, I feel good. Last year come second same way. I feel good, extremely good.
So you're consistent. You second last year, second this year. Are you going to up it and finish first next year?
Yeah, I'll do that, yes.
With us now is the third place male finisher, Shane Archibald of GC Foster. Congratulations on the third place. How was the race for you?
It was a good run still, but they leave me at the 4K and I couldn't make it over because it seemed like I still don't recover from the Trinidad and Tobago race. Different environment, but I'm working on my recovery rate, so I guess at the next race I can get back my first place.
Right, because you would have lost to, I think, Garfield Gordon. Is it always stiff competition between you two?
Yes, sir, but I'm the 2018 champion through the early season till now. So when I come second last week and third, I have to still be grateful because it could be even worse.
Great. Well, congratulations again. Thank you for your time. With us now is Mr. Andrew East, who participated wheeling tonight in the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K. Describe your participation tonight. How was it for you?
Well, for the first time, I was trying to see how well I would do. So it was a bit difficult, especially going up the hill, but it was fun. I mean, coming back down was not so bad. So, you know, I was trying to pace myself to see where I would, so if I would do it again. But, so yeah, I will do it again.
Well, that's good to hear. So I want to ask, though, what inspired you to try this time?
Just something new. Just wanted to do something to challenge yourself. After being a disabled person for this time, 18 years, I always need something new to inspire you to keep going and moving forward, you know? So this was one of those things.
I'm happy to hear you say that you will be participating again. Have you identified the next event that you will be in?
Not yet. Just waiting to see and check the listing and see what comes up.
They ran, they walked, they wheeled. Almost 7,000 participants in the Guardian Group Keep It Alive 5K in Montego Bay. It has been a pleasure delivering this event to you on Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Reggae Caramel Jamaican Treats is it's a company that really embodies all that Jamaica have to offer in confectioneries and pastries. We think that Jamaica has a lot to offer in those areas, but we're loosely all over the place. So we have basically captured the items that we think are most popular and favorite and brought them under one umbrella and package it as Jamaican treats. So, you know, we have been doing that for 2.5 years and it's been doing extremely well because persons just like myself wanted something that we can have and, you know, to own and to get everything in one pack. In Jamaican treats, it's 8 of Jamaica's favorites. So it has tamarind ball, buster, jackass corn, things like coconut drops, peanut cake, peanut brittle, to name a few. So it's really, you know, what Jamaicans want. And we've been seeing this because it's been jumping off the shelves. So just like myself, even when I travel, I have a lot of cousins who would ask me for different things and everybody would have their own favorites. So this is just a perfect gift for any Jamaican returning or somebody who may be visiting to just grab a pack of Jamaican treats. Jamaican treats we package in 2 ways. Our grab and go bag, which is a gold pack, very attractive. And it's for those persons who are, you know, really curious and want to explore and see what Jamaican treats are all about. And there's the gift box, which have more of the treats. So it has over 32 pieces and they're individually wrapped just the same. And it's more to go around, so you can buy that one as a gift to give for a loved one, you know. So it's 2 very, you know, economical packages. This year is our third year at the Observer Food Awards, and it's been really good because it has exposed us to new markets. We have new clients who have bought our products as gifts for their clients, and it has expanded our scope in terms of distribution, and it's been really, really a good journey. And this year is Observer's 20th year, and we're glad we're on this episode. So we're targeted persons who are on the go. So we are definitely in gas stations, pharmacies, supermarkets, both international airports, and we have been really gaining traction from those locations. We are doing new things. We're going into rum cake, we're going into fruit cake, and we're going to be using a special rum in our fruit cake and our rum cake. So that should be very exciting for us. Customers can look out for us in the diaspora, mainly in Canada, US, and England, the UK. That's our target market, really. We just wanted to really get the blessings from Jamaica, and it's been a real journey for us locally. Now we want to soar to get to the diaspora and to reconnect, or connect, I should say, with that market.
I'm Don Webick, Group CEO of Grace Kennedy. You are watching Business Access, serious about business.
Hey there! Thanks for joining us on Jamaica Magazine and just catching up on our culinary heritage. I never knew our one-pot meals came from our African ancestors. That's why foods like our national dish, the ackee and saltfish, is so popular. The same is true for our dip and fall back or stamp and go. Contact the JIS to get a copy of this book with more of our culinary delights.
When him and Kate has starving dog just woke up face to face. The turkey stop. The dog drop. Him lick him out and walkie. He make our mama dive and punked up on the turkey. Needs Mary Ballot. Save the turkey!
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, October 8th. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on the private sector to increase investment in innovations that will boost their operations and the Jamaican economy.
The future of Jamaica is great, and we want our business people to be optimistic in their outlook, to take risks on Jamaica, and the government is playing its role as a regulator.
The Prime Minister was speaking on Friday at the launch of GB Energy Texaco Jamaica's Autogas at the Texaco service station on Halfway Tree Road. He commended the company for launching the new liquefied petroleum gas, which he says aligns with the government's commitment to diversifying Jamaica's energy mix. A national trade information portal has been launched to provide a central access point for laws, regulations, procedures, and other measures relating to trade procedures. The portal will become operational in mid-2019. Speaking at the launch, Industry and Commerce Minister Audley Shaw said it was essential to improving the ease of doing business in Jamaica.
This is all part of a modern and coordinated approach to doing business at international standards. Trade has always played a major role in the Jamaican economy, with the value of exports and imports totaling over 50% of the country's gross domestic product.
At the same function, the National Foreign Trade Policy and Consultancy was unveiled to complement the portal. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says the trade policy seeks to facilitate the maintenance and development of rules providing predictability and security for firms engaged in trade.
The foreign trade policy is geared towards mainstreaming trade, international development policies, plans, and strategies. It must embrace other policies and strategies in order to promote trade in goods and services which meet international standards. It's also essential that we meet demand in external markets and enhance export performance, leading to job creation and welfare gains.
Both policy initiatives are the result of collaboration between the Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries Ministry and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Government is spending $100 million this fiscal year to provide productivity support for several crops, including Irish potato and onion. Portfolio Minister Audley Shaw made the announcement last Thursday at the launch of the 2018-2019 Irish Potato Program in Christiana, Manchester. The productivity support is part of government's overall strategy to enhance Jamaica's food and nutrition capacity with the target of achieving self-sufficiency.
If we have the appropriate systems, and put in really irrigation systems and so, Irish potato can grow year-round, It can grow year-round. It don't have to be October to December or January, February through to March, April. It can actually grow year-round because people eat French fries year-round. People eat Irish potato year-round.
The minister was speaking against the background that the demand for table Irish potatoes in Jamaica was £34 million per year. The Ministries of Health and Local Government have joined forces with a number of private sector entities to construct a new ward at the St. Catherine Infirmary. The ward was opened on Friday to house social cases from the Spanish Town Hospital. This is part of a broad initiative to find alternative appropriate accommodation for infirmed persons currently residing in public hospitals and free up those beds for patients. In line with that, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says work on a similar facility in Westmoreland is to begin in November.
Clarendon is also on the card. As we move right across the country to free up the bed space so that persons who are seeking attention in public hospitals will be able to find adequate room.
The minister says that in this financial year, government is spending close to $400 million on infirmaries across the island. There are 14 government-operated infirmaries across the island, in addition to 2 Golden Age homes. Infrastructural upgrade to the island's ports will continue as part of efforts to attract more cruise ships to the island. $15 billion is being spent this fiscal year to develop the ports of Ocho Rios, Montego Bay, and Falmouth. CEO of the Port Authority of Jamaica, PAJ, Professor Gordon Shirley, says creating visitor-friendly ports is critical to the industry.
The Port Authority of Jamaica has always placed great emphasis on the reviews that we have received and information we have received about the guests' reaction to our terminals. And over the past few years, in response to those, a number of changes have been made.
Professor Shirley was speaking at the recent official welcome event for Carnival Horizon, docked in Ocho Rios, with a capacity of nearly 4,000 passengers. Between January and August of this year, the country welcomed more than 1.2 million cruise passengers. Future cruise ship bookings for the island include more than 26,000 passengers for the island's ports. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
That can easily change if we allow the cutting of trees, forest fires, animal grazing, crop cultivation, or improper dwellings to destroy our forest reserves. Help preserve Jamaica's flora and fauna. If you know or suspect that someone is hurting our forest reserves, call 1-888-FORESTS. Remember, protecting our forests means sustaining our lives.
Today we highlight our national flower, the Lignum vitae. You may be wondering why this plant, out of so many others, was chosen as the national flower. But rest assured, once you've watched this next feature, you'll see that we made the right choice.
Christopher Columbus saw it here when he came. It means wood of life in Latin. It's world-renowned for its medicinal, ornamental, and industrial properties. But around these parts, it's known as the Lignum vitae, the island's national flower.
It is a tree that is native to Jamaica, it's native to Cuba, basically the Greater Antilles and parts of Central America. Its native habitat is pretty much dry alluvial type plains. It also grows in well-drained limestone areas.
This short, compact tree takes over 100 years to grow up to 30 feet tall. Due to its luminous purple-blue flower, alluring orange-yellow fruit, evergreen foliage, and attractive rounded shape, the tree dots across the Jamaican landscape, shading many houses, streets, and complexes. Since time immemorial, the Lignum vitae has been touted as the most useful tree in the world.
It produces a gum, and that gum used to be regarded as highly favored for medicinal uses.
Its body, gum, bark, fruit, leaves, and blossom are used to produce medicine. In colonial times, resin from the tree was used as a mild laxative and as a diuretic. The leaves were used as a remedy for respiratory, inflammatory, congestion, and neurological disorders. Its bark eases pain from sprains, strain, rheumatism, and arthritis. And I'm sure many Jamaican homes still ward off flies with its branches.
Its most noted feature is the wood. Because it's slow growing, it's very, very dense. And that density and the weight of it gives it a number of industrial uses.
That's because the Lignum vitae is infused with an oil which makes it waterproof. It's ranked as the world's densest, hardest, and most durable traded wood. In addition to being used for making exquisite furniture, the Lignum vitae was used to insulate trolley cars for the rail industry. The wood also made the propeller shaft bearings of most ships back in the day. Lignum vitae wood is also ideal for these creations. The Lignum vitae is truly the holy grail of plants.
Papi look kinda sad today. Him know say something wrong. No rickety, no rukutu, no tram, no balam bam. But do me feel it so? All things I'm for the best. Me make me conscience rule me. For a tram car, we'll need a rest. So, me we walk a mile and a half. We hear the palam pam. The bus drives sweet, but massa, it no sweet like the tram.
Which parish do you find Roaring River, Brighton Blue Hole, and Silver Spring? Find out in our newest Heritage Month offering.
You may know it for its 7 miles of pristine coastline, its unmistakable sunset, or moving houses on trailers. You may see it in the news for its motorcycles, but there's so much more to the island's most westerly parish. We decided to give you a little peek. So come now, come around the bend with us in Westmoreland.
Come and get your fish at the border. We have our nice seafood. We have conch, we have steamed fish, we have bami, we have soup. If you come to the border, believe you me, you will never stop coming to the border.
If you're looking for an in-depth history lesson, you won't find it in this feature. Be sure to head on over to jis.gov.jm for a parish profile. What you'll get though is some good food and some breathtaking sights around these parts. When sugar was king, it was the center of economic life. And it was from these lands that Jamaica's road to independence was paved. Just look up the 1938 riots and the passage of universal adult suffrage in 1944. Up the road and round the bend, you'll find persons who came here to supply manpower. Yes, we're talking about Chinese and Indian indentured servants, and their influences live on. Negril is not the only capital of casual here in Westmoreland. What do you think about Bluefields?
Yeah, you can come and get your fresh fruit in White House.
Come and visit Peter Touch home, Belmont, Westmoreland. We're all over there hang out and I go and eat fish and ital.
Yeah, and people are coming down at the old wharf near to the front of the MCB bank there. But they move that ship good.
We came further up the hill, round the bend, to a place called Good Hope in Westmoreland, where our locals told us about a great house, right? The Whitehall Great House.
Great House.
This is our tour guide. He's a former worker there, Mr. Seaford Pringle. Right. He was just telling us about the produce that came from there.
Yeah.
You said logwood.
Logwood, pimento.
Pimento.
Yeah.
Seaford, thanks for sharing the great house with us. And see you next time. You've seen our mountains, you've seen our springs, you've even seen our rivers. But did you know that we have a blue hole too? We're going to check that out right now. Westmoreland is also home to the Seaford Town German settlement. It's too far up the road for today, but you can visit when you have some time. They have a museum and the people are very warm and welcoming. Just tell them the JIS sent you.
One love, one heart. Come on down to Negril. You're gonna feel alright.
The tour done. I hope you had fun and you learned a little bit more about this Western wonderland called Westmoreland.
Part of cultural preservation is the protection of the physical artifacts that we've collected over the years. Watch now how we preserve metals.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Headquarters House,
home of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. We're going to take you through some of the ropes in the methods in conservation, so please come along with us. Thanks for joining us in our conservation lab. We have here working with us Mr. Darrington Ferguson as well as Mr. Frank Gale, and we'll be looking at some of the methods they will be applying to different material types for the preservation of our material culture of Jamaica. First of all, we have here some cannonballs that are usually found with some extent of corrosion. Mr. Ferguson is actually removing mechanically some of the concretion from a cannonball, and after he has removed that, then we would wire it. This wired metal object we would then install in our electrolytic tank. In the process of electrolysis, what we are actually doing, we are primarily reversing the process of corrosion. Once it has been electrolyzed, it would look something like this. So we would then proceed to brush to remove any loose rust that would be left on it. We would then put the iron object in some pure water, which we call deionized water, and that would be heated to ensure that the metal itself would facilitate the extraction of any impurities that might be left in the body of the iron. After that, we would dry the iron object. Most times we dry it in alcohol, and that would remove the water from the body of the object. And after drying, we would take a substance we call tannic acid, applying several coats, and it would form somewhat a stable surface for the iron object. And then the final stage is waxing to provide a coating or a lacquer on the surface of the iron object. Here we have Mr. Gale. He's actually applying orthophosphoric acid to remove slight rusting or corrosion from the case of a sword. He is actually using what we call a chemical as well as a mechanical means of so doing. We have close to it the extractor system, which is used to remove harmful fumes from the atmosphere in order to make the environment a much healthier one and a safer one for us to work. Lead corrodes by forming mainly lead sulfide and lead carbonate. So we would be soaking it first of all in ammonium acetate, and that would basically remove within a few hours the lead carbonate. In order to remove any residue of ammonium acetate that might be left on the lead, we would then rinse it quickly for a short time period. Just rinse it in a bath of a very dilute solution of hydrochloric acid. If there are any corrosion left at that stage, then we would remove that mechanically, either very likely with a glass bristle brush. After that, we do as we would with the iron. Coming over here now, we have copper or copper material. We have been soaking this copper in a substance we prepare in the lab, which we call alkaline Rochelle salt. The alkaline Rochelle salt will remove from it largely what we call bronze disease. So we soak it in the solution. The chemical will dissolve the bronze disease. After that has been dissolved, then we would rinse in, for example, a dilute solution of sulfuric acid to remove any slight impurities or corrosion product that might be left there. After that, we will, as we do with the other metals, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were well informed by the information we've imparted today, and you're welcome to join us at any time, particularly at our heritage sites. And when you see our heritage sites, you see the artifacts that are there, you will appreciate to a greater extent the effort that has gone into its preservation.
and dancehall, Jamaica's music continues to impact the world. And this year, the 8th staging of the JIS Heritage Competition celebrates our vibrant and dynamic musical heritage. I say yeah, I say yeah, I say, do what I say. Can you hear me say yeah, yeah, that's what I say. And right now, someone else has died.
Students aged 9 to 12 enter the essay competition. Write 500 words on the topic, how has Jamaican music contributed to the country's growth and development?
Give it to me one time. Give it to me 2 times.
Secondary level students enter the poster competition with digital or illustrated pieces, and tertiary level students, the photo competition is for you.
And right now, someone else has.
The topic for the poster and photo competition is Jamaica's music, the stage for growth and development.
Now moonshine, bright tonight, how we are trying to be all night till daylight.
For additional information, visit the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. Email heritage essay, heritage poster, heritage photo, all at jis.gov.jm, or call 876-926-3590 to phone.
It's my legacy, all I've got to say. Reggae my song.
The competition is now open.
And all entries must be submitted by Sunday, October 28th.
Prizes and surprises await you in the 2018 Jamaica Information Service Heritage Competition.
Lord, I feel like crying now. I feel like moving. And I feel like...
Welcome to Blenheim, birthplace of a hero. Sir Alexander Bustamante was the first Prime Minister of Jamaica. He was born on the 24th of February 1884 and died 6th of August 1977, but still lives on in history. Here at his museum, you can get the rich history of him. So please feel free to come and enjoy. We are open from 9 to 5 weekdays, Monday to Friday. So please come on in and get the rich history. Right? You can call the Jamaica National Heritage Trust if you want some more information.
And that's it for today. For more of our programs, visit jis.gov.jm or our YouTube channel. You may also stay in touch with us by joining us on all the major social media platforms. And there's a mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Sandra Clark. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
We are back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
I'm Butch Hendrickson. You're watching BATV, serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business Access TV welcomes you to the launch of Weddings JA. I'm your host, Amita Prasadweb, and today we're here in the gardens of the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Please stay tuned for highlights.
So Shangri-La Flowers and Gifts is a wedding company and an all-rounded wedding company. We're located in Montego Bay and Ocho-Rios. So what we do is wedding decor, wedding florals, wedding rental, and also wedding planning. So really a one-stop shop for your wedding as well. So you guys, this event we thought would be a perfect way to come into the Kingston market since we don't yet have a store in Kingston.
It's the launch of Weddings JA. What are your thoughts thus far, turnout and the other booths?
Well, actually, it looks really well. I'm glad that the turnout, despite, weather had set to be rainy. So I'm glad with the turnout as well. And the booths are actually looking really well. So we're happy that we had sponsored this amazing event.
So talk to us about Tent City. What is it that you guys do?
We're a tent company, and what we do is rent different tents for different occasions, weddings, party, graduations, you name it.
Talk to us about the relationship between Tent City and Weddings JA.
Well, we're one of the sponsors, and they call us and we partnered with them, and that's why we're here today.
What's next for Tent City?
Well, what's next for Tent City is that we have new and upcoming tents, and for the December period, as we're here now, this is one of our new tents. It's a skylight. We have it here just to show the customers to see if they'll take it, because it's kind of different, you understand? And just to showcase our new tent.
I think when people think of tents, they think of one type of tent. Can you give us some examples of the different types of tents that Tent City offers?
Well, our tents are white, really, and mostly high peak, and we have different sizes. The sizes vary from 10 by 10, and we can go as far as 40 by 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome fashion from Lust Yosh Design DJ. Let's go. Make some noise for Lust Yosh Fashion. So where can we find you? Take it down.
All right, so you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Lust Yosh Designs, or you can email us at lustyoshdesigns@gmail.com. Number 873-7319. Thank you.
Talk to us about Sparkles Productions.
Well, we're a production company, but we do other stuff as well. We do weddings.
So not only do we do the sound and the flooring and the lighting and the trussing, we do decor, we do flowers, we do invitations, we do photography. So we are a one-stop. So I know a lot of people think Sparkus Productions, they think of big stage shows, they think of music, they think of sound. But we do have a department for weddings. And because we come with everything, we are able to give better costings.
You're here today as a sponsor at Weddings JA. Talk to us about that relationship.
Sure. Well, Renisha called me and said, check out our new site, and I did, and I liked it. I like the idea of everybody in the wedding industry coming together. And so when she called me and said she's doing a launch, I said, yes, count me in. I'll be there. I like it. I like the networking. And I like to see what everybody else is doing.
All right, so talk to us about your business, 81 Sound Entertainment.
All right, my business. Originally, I'm an event promoter. I've been so for probably like the better part of 20 years. Made the decision about 3 years ago to branch out into service provision. Here am I, 81 Sound Entertainment. So I've used all the experience that I've garnered in my almost 2 decades and turned it into service provision and, and to provide quality service. So that's basically it.
Talk to us about the relationship between Weddings JA and 81 Sound.
All right, Weddings JA now. When they originally started their promotion, I liked the idea of having a wedding directory. And I like the concept of launching that directory and their service in the form of a wedding show. And I approached them and said, hey, I'm willing to work with you guys. And they accepted, and I'm gracious for their acceptance and for the opportunity. And we worked together, and we created an experience. As you can see by the turnout, they did a wonderful job where marketing is concerned and the layout and so forth. And, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to work with them.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop, or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Now, the aim of this competition is called Professing Your Love. It's called what? Professing Your Love. What is it called? Professing Your Love. It's pretty simple. The couple that professes their love the best through kiss wins. All right, so you're going to all start after 3. So face your partner. All right. Take on a hand out on a pocket. Remember, and this is going to last for 15 seconds. Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm trying to be as well as you. Your dresses look stunning. Don't they look stunning, ladies? Come on, make some noise, ladies. All right, so tell us more about your company and where we can find you and all your contact information.
All right, so it's Bliss Bridal Boutique. We are located at 7 to 9 Arden Road in our new big, nice, fabulous location. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook at Bliss Bridal JA. Our telephone number is 876-622-2547, or for ease, it's actually 876-62-BLISS.
All right, talk to us about Victoria House Events Limited.
All right, Victoria House Events Limited is located at 11 Lindsay Crescent. What we do all year functions, but we mainly do weddings. We do from a pin to an anchor. The only thing we don't do is find the gentleman, but we find everything else: the dresses, the cake, the food, the pastor, the location, just about everything.
Today you're here at Weddings JA launch. Talk to us about your experience here today.
It has been an awesome day. Beyond my wildest dream. We had so many persons coming in. It was just busy, busy, busy all day, all morning. People just keep coming. But it was good. It's a good experience. And for sure, we'll be in this next year.
WeddingsJA.com is Jamaica's premier online wedding directory, offering an impressive list of over 1,000 Jamaica-based wedding vendors. She has a bachelor's in entertainment management and a master's in marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the founder, the CEO, the woman herself, Renisha James. Make some noise. She's the reason why we're here today. And to have the symbolic launching of the website, we're going to be having the cutting of the ribbon. Are you ready? So we're going to count down from 5. And you're going to count with me. Ready? 5. Shout it. 5. Round of applause. Round of applause. All right, Renisha. Tell us more about the vision behind WeddingsJA.com.
Well, you know, people are always getting married, and any bride-to-be will tell you that planning a wedding is no easy feat. So, this website was created to make it absolutely easy for the bride to find everything that she could ever need. I mean, we have honeymoon, makeup artists, venues, photographers, decorators, rings, dresses, DJs, MCs, you name it, everything is on WeddingsJA.com. So ladies and grooms to be, you can, in the comfort of your bedroom or your living room, just go online and find everything that you're looking for with one click. Isn't that amazing?
It's the launch of WeddingsJA.com. Congrats, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so good.
How did the idea come about?
Well, I saw that there was a need for brides-to-be to find everything that they really needed to plan their wedding successfully with ease. And so I thought that this would be a really, really good thing to introduce to the market to fill that gap.
The day is almost over. What's the feedback been like so far?
It's been amazing. People are like, is this going to be an annual event? This is so awesome. I really had fun. Like, it's been so much positive feedback, so I'm really happy.
Now that your website has launched, what's the next step?
The next step is for wedding businesses all across Jamaica to get listed so that the brides-to-be and the grooms-to-be can find them easily, because that's what Weddings JA is all about. In addition to brides signing up on the website, we have discounts from our vendors that brides can also get when they sign up. And it's really just to let everyone know that we are open for business. Log on to the website, brides, find everything that you need, vendors, get listed.
have it, the launch of Weddings JA. I've been your host, Amita Prasad-Webb, and thank you for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
If you're looking for a sleek, sporty, and spacious vehicle, then the C-Class may be just for you. Business Access TV is here at Silver Star Motors for the C-Class Mercedes-Benz facelift launch. I'm your host, Amita Prasad-Webb. Please stay tuned for highlights.
Welcome to the launch of the new C-Class. The new look C-Class is the biggest model update in the car's history, with 6,500 updates and new additions. We are going to show you 3 different models, and I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome. So, the Mercedes-Benz, best or nothing. And in order for us to keep that true, the brand has to keep improving. So, we're in the 5th generation of the C-Class. It's the most successful model for Mercedes-Benz. And the C-Class has been comprehensively optimized and resharpened and combines emotionality with intelligence. What do I mean about that? One of the features that we're going to tell you about today is that the vehicle has air balance. We offer this as an option. You can choose a fragrance that makes you feel comfortable in your car, whether you want to have a soft mood or you want to be energized. The design of the exterior and interior benefits are stylish. The vehicle's new appearance is defined in particular by its modified front end and design of the headlamps and taillights. High quality sculpted details underline the sophisticated look and feel. LED high-performance headlamps and the multi-beam LED headlamps with ultra-range high beam are available. The interior is sporty and has a premium look and feel. New interior colors and trim elements have been introduced. So today we'll actually be launching and showing you one of the new colors. I won't spoil the surprise yet. The C-Class also adopts the control and display concept from the current S-Class and comes with the option of a fully digital instrument display and 3 individually selected display styles. The C-Class has touch-sensitive controls in the steering wheel, which makes control of the functions easier. And they do this by a touchpad. Now we have everybody on board today, so I want you to challenge Thomas, Cara, Homer, Jason, the entire team to telling you all about the features. So without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
We hear that it's sporty, spacious, and sleek, but what else sets this vehicle apart from the others that we may come across?
The new look C-Class has come out with a lot of new features, including new colors, new interior trim elements, a fully instrument digital display, a larger media display, and multi-beam LED headlamps as an optional feature.
So talk to us about the demand for these high-end vehicles.
So the demand for luxury vehicles in Jamaica is high. We're very impressed, and we're hoping that the C-Class will hit the market strong and that the Jamaicans will love the new features as much as we do. In fact, our C43 AMG that we launched today has already been sold. The new look C-Class comes with an optional headlamp feature for LED high-performance headlamps or multi-beam LED headlamps. It also comes with a diamond grille, which is beautiful and makes it a classy and sporty look. The new look C-Class comes with several new trim options, including the one you see in this beautiful C300. The C-Class also comes with a larger media display screen, as you can see. The steering wheel also comes with touchpad and control buttons to make functions easier when you're driving. The new class has an option for a fully instrument digital cluster, which, as you can see, gives it a sporty, upgraded, fancy look. One of the cool features of the new C-Class is the energizing comfort control, where you can select a scent, music, and seats based on your mood. Refresh, vitality. Our C-Class also come with an anti-dazzle feature, which is for the rear view mirror and side mirrors, where if a car shines a light from behind you and it hits the mirror will tint so you only see what's directly behind you. This is such a useful and safe feature for driving at night.
Driving a German whip, driving a German whip. Yo! If you see man driving a German whip, blacked out window leaning back, see man driving a German whip, look like a baller, please and that.
Mr. Stevenson, you've had previous Mercedes models. Speak to us about that compared to this. What would you say sets this one apart?
So what sets the C-Class apart is that it is actually the best-selling Mercedes of all time. So Mercedes have a lot of love for the C-Class. As you heard earlier, there's 6,500 new parts for the car, and that is the biggest overhaul for this car ever. So I think this car, they gave it a lot more love than previous ones. And the tagline for this car is never stop improving. And that meshes nicely with the Mercedes-Benz tag, which is the best or nothing. So you can expect to see a lot of really cool little features in this car, such as the fragrance that you can put in the car. There's 64 different types of ambient lighting. So this car is very much tied to the individual. It gets you in a mood, it gets you in a, I don't know, just wraps you up in a cocoon of awesomeness when you drive a car like this. So I think that that's what they've done with this car. They've made it intimate.
Let's talk price points and our payment plans available.
So we start at 11.4 for the C180, which is the entry level. And we do have financing packages. We have our in-house financing, which is Simpson Finance. Currently, they've got the best rate on the market at 6.99%. So now is a really good time to actually get in and get a financial package through Simpson Finance, because I think it's the 6.99% will last till the end of next month. So it's a good time to buy a C-Class or a Mercedes.
All right, so you've just had your C-Class Benz facelift launch. What's next for Stewart's Automotive Group?
Well, the group is always trying to bring something new to the market for the Jamaicans, because we love our people. The closest thing in mind, we're coming out with 2 new models at Mitsubishi, the Traj and the Montero Sport. They should be coming early next year, and we're very excited to expand the models that we offer. I think the Jamaican public will be very happy with them as well.
In regards to the launch today, what would you say is your favorite feature of the new C-Class?
Well, I really like the updated interior, the new screens. It really brings a fresh look and it keeps up with the competition. The competition is always evolving and they have great vehicles, so it's good to see that our manufacturer is.
that's it from us here. Until next time, I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb, and thank you for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.
Welcome to BATV News. I'm Khalid. Number of issues that
a number of the we settle the issue of protective gears to be supplied to the employees. The issue of drinking water, that was settled also. Overtime payment, workers have complained that they were not being paid overtime. They have agreed to pay overtime payments to the workers when work.
Additionally, Mr. Morrison says the workers will now receive pay slips from CHEC.
The workers are happy that we have settled that issue because they had complained that they didn't know what they were being paid. They have agreed to issue pay slips to the workers.
The UK's president says a follow-up meeting will be held next week, and the union will be pushing for an end-of-project bonus for the workers and for a memorandum of understanding to be developed between CHEC, the unions and the government.
End-of-project bonus, we would regard that as work in progress. We're also talking to them about a memorandum of understanding to be developed between China Harbour, the unions, and the government, so that we can have a template as it relates to the China Harbour Georgia projects going forward. And the issue of the rates, we raised that with them, and they are to get back to us on that matter. In fact, we are to have a follow-up meeting sometime next week to continue the discussion.
The Police Federation has again rejected another wage offer from the government. The Federation's central executive today unanimously rejected the offer made last month and opted to continue negotiations. The government is offering a 16% wage increase over 4 years. They've also agreed to consider a 2-year contract instead of the 4 years they were initially proposing. However, the Federation says the 4 years also offered one-off, non-taxable payments of between $30,000 and $60,000 to constables, corporals, sergeants, and inspectors. This would be paid on April 1. However, the Federation is proposing annuity payments of a taxable $3,794 over 24 months. They also want 8 buses to be provided to transport members. The government is also offering a minimum and approvals.
The St. Lucia-based company passed 3 resolutions in its extraordinary general meeting today. First on the agenda was a stock split. Shareholders voted in favor of a 5-to-1 stock split. Sterling Investments Chairman Derek Jones says the stock split will make it easier for investors to buy and share stocks in the company.
You may own today 1 share in the company, which is worth $15 on the stock exchange. What we're going to do is we're going to split that into 5 parts. So instead of owning 1 share that's worth $15, you will in fact own 5 shares, each of which will be worth $3. And the rationale for that, you look at $15 and say, that's a little pricey for me.
This gives shareholders in the company first
Currently unissued, the same to be offered to the holders of ordinary shares and stock units by way of a rights issue on such terms, including the number of new ordinary shares, the price per new ordinary share, the proportion of new ordinary shares to be offered in relation to existing ordinary shares or stock units held by the holders thereof.
However, directors reserve the right to dispose of all new ordinary shares not taken up by the holders of ordinary shares to whom the offer is made. In the meantime, President and CEO of Sterling Investments Charles Ross says the increase in the share capital will be used to provide support to expand small.
We'll be using some of it to continue with our investment strategy in global bonds and so on. But we'll also be using a substantial amount of them grow and possibly list on the exchange in the future. So we will be doing some private equity investments with a substantial portion of the money, but we'll also be continuing in the interim especially to invest in fixed income US dollar securities.
For BATV News, I'm Shoshana Small.
The Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Industry. The JMEA says a strong and vibrant industry will lead to a better economy. The announcements were made at the JMEA's first annual Gala Awards over the weekend. Jamila Maitland reports.
With October being observed as National Exporters Month, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, is calling for more government support. President of the JMEA, Metri Siaga, says that as the second highest tax contributor to the country, more is needed from the government to truly encourage the industry.
We, the exporters and manufacturers of this country, are the true innovators and risk takers, and the real hope and savior to creating the badly needed growth in our now stable economy. We have laid our foundations in Jamaica. We create jobs, most times in vulnerable communities, saving and generating foreign exchange that contributes to the running of this country in a major way, as the second highest tax contributing sector to the government.
Mr. Siaga, speaking directly to the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Audley Shaw, who was sitting in the audience, says the industry needs more financial assistance. He says while larger businesses can survive, micro, small, and medium-sized businesses cannot.
Number one, we need money. Capital is the lifeblood of export and manufacturing. When we can't access affordable capital, especially the MSMEs, it creates a clot in the system. The JMEA has started discussions with the government and the Jamaica Bankers Association. But if we don't solve this issue quickly, we are going to starve our companies of the necessary oxygen they need to survive.
He says affordable factory spaces are crucial for many businesses to formalize themselves, which the JMEA is working on.
Dedicated, purpose-built, affordable factory space is a critical element to turn them, you hear that, Minister? To turn them into substantial and sustainable business enterprises that can employ people, pay taxes, and contribute to our country's economic growth. We have had numerous discussions with various ministries and agencies and are in the process of putting proposals together to make this dream a reality.
Meanwhile, the President acknowledged the recent procurement policy regulation for the industry that was approved by Cabinet, but he's calling on Minister Shaw to expedite the process.
I'm happy to report that after 9 long years of shoulder-to-the-wheel pressure, there seems to be some movement. Slight though it may be, there is movement, as we have been successful in getting the offset and set-aside regulations passed by the Cabinet. Again, Minister Shaw, the ball is in your court to develop the ministerial order that will guide the implementation of the new procurement regulations.
For BATV News, I'm Jamila Maitland.
And when we come back, cooking gas to drive your car? It's actually a thing, and it's now available at several gas stations. This and more after the break.
This is the new Tough Crossover. An exploring gear that pumps out your tough side. Strong and sturdy on the outside. Calm and comfort on the inside. This is Suzuki new SX4 S-Cross. Geared to explore.
Welcome back. Light bills are going up. The Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, today approved an increase in JPS rates. The non-fuel tariff is going up by an average 2.8%, while the average overall tariff increases by about 0.5%. The OUR says residential, small and medium business customers will see up to a 0.5% increase in their bills, whilst medium to large, high-volume consumption businesses will see their bills actually going down by about the same amount. The Light and Power Company submitted a request to the OUR in May for the adjustment of its rates in the annual review. They also requested an extraordinary rate review for debt cost refinancing recovery. As part of the OUR's determination, a special loss reduction initiative was developed to help incentivize JPS in its loss reduction efforts. As a result, the OUR has accepted JPS's capital expenditure of $16 million under its Smart Streetlight program against its liabilities to the Electricity Efficiency Improvement Fund. However, approval will be based on an audit. The OUR also approved a refinancing proposal for $179 million to reduce debt. The regulator says after this, customers should expect to see lower electricity bills. The Jamaica Gas and Retailers Association, JGRA, is supporting GB Energy's innovation of using liquid petroleum gas, commonly known as cooking gas, to now fuel motor vehicles. LPG is a cheaper, cleaner, environmentally friendly alternative to petrol, now available at select Texaco gas stations. Jamila Maitland reports.
President of the Jamaica Gas and Retailers Association, Gregory Chung, is describing the introduction of LPG as motor fuel as a great day for the petroleum industry.
Well, this is still relatively new. This is the first nationwide launch. There has been 1 or 2 persons experimenting with LPG in automobiles. However, this is, as you know, Texaco is everywhere, and autogas now is going to be everywhere. So the convenience has always been a question of, okay, I fill up here, but where do I get fill up if I travel to Kingston or travel to Montego Bay? So this is now the solution, and it's a cleaner option. And if you look at long term, we have to address climate change.
Mr. Chung says the JGRA fully supports the move and should have several of its members offering LPG in the near future. But he says, like other fuels, safety and best practices must be developed. He says the association is to meet with Prime Minister and Energy Minister Andrew Holness to discuss standards.
Well, as you know, our new Energy Minister was here presenting, both as the Prime Minister and as the Energy Minister. And he has committed to a meeting very soon. And these are going to be definitely one of the main topics that we discuss of what is the framework of a safe standard, because it is safe. It has been proven in other regions, and so it can be done here in Jamaica.
Meanwhile, Managing Director of Technigas, Alex Hill, whose company will lead the conversion of vehicles to use LPG, is reassuring motorists that LPG is actually safer than petrol.
LPG has a lower flash point than petrol. The fumes coming out of your car when you fill up with petrol are very flammable. Compared to this, which is a sealed port, when you fill it up, there are no fumes coming out. It's a sealed port, right? It's a great question, but people think LPG is so dangerous, but it's not. Because the truth is, when is the last time you heard a cooking gas cylinder explode at a house? We've been using them for decades, right? That doesn't happen. All the tanks that we have in the vehicles are built again to European standards, the thickness of material and a safety valve in there, so that even if it's in an accident with a compression or like a crash, or if that tank is physically left in a burning car, it will not explode.
For BATV News, I'm Jamila Maitland.
Pan Jam Investment has acquired a 25% stake in Williams Offices Caribbean Limited. Williams Offices is the franchise partner of Regis in the Caribbean. It was established in Barbados in 2015 with a mandate to license and operate the Regis brand and business model in a number of Caribbean countries. Regis is the leading global workspace provider, having built an unparalleled network of office, co-working and meeting spaces for individuals and companies in almost 900 cities across 120 countries. Williams Offices opened its first Regis Business Center in June 2016 at One Welches, Barbados. In March 2017, the second center followed at Invaders Bay in Trinidad and Tobago. Its third center will be located in the Pan Jam building in New Kingston and is earmarked to open in late October. And when we come back, we'll show you the latest images from Haiti's last earthquake. This and more in regional and international news up next.
The Nissan X-Trail with All-Mode I technologies. No matter what the road throws at you, your story starts here.
Welcome back. Time now for regional and worried about their families who they're yet to hear from. More from Local 10 News in Little.
And right here in South Florida, home to one of the largest Haitian American populations.
Today I opened my business. That's one of the reasons I didn't call them, but I think I'm going to find out how they are.
Are you worried about maybe people you know over there?
Really, really worried. Because as I can say, maybe our country is not lucky.
Concern is only growing as time goes on, especially after word that an aftershock, a magnitude 5.2 quake, rocked the region just today. A social worker on the ground in Haiti snapped these photos of the damage in the area and posted the pictures on social media.
This is my people, you know. I'm very worried about that.
The quake was centered 12 miles northwest of a town called Port-au-Pas, but still the natural disaster is not as strong as the one that rocked the area in 2010. That was a much larger magnitude 7.1 earthquake that killed about 300,000 people. Today, 12 reported dead, at least 188 others injured, and the search continues for more.
Because I have family over there, I just want to say pray for Haiti. And, you know, I got family, and there's a lot of people that got family over there, and just I hope they get the assistance that they need.
And the heart of Little Haiti is the Little Haiti Cultural Center, where it really is a sense of community. There hasn't been anyone that we've encountered that hasn't heard of this earthquake. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Haiti, they are expressing their condolences and their thoughts and support for the people affected by this massive earthquake. And in a statement released earlier today, they say that the U.S. is standing by, ready to send support if needed. Reporting live from Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood, I'm Terrell Fournay, Local 10 News.
More than 300 workers. More from our news.
Carlos Folks and Tecoyo Bridgewater are on a mission to deliver a never-before-seen product to the country. The Fusion Superplex, with its 9 theaters, including IMAX and 4DX technology, will also feature game rooms, luxury theaters, restaurants, and much more. As a result, Folks says jobs are on the way.
When we started this, we had our eye on 150 employees. And then our vision expanded, and that went to 300 employees. Now it's 418. And persons ask all the time, wow, that's a lot of persons to employ. But if you look around, you see the VIP theater. This is another restaurant, all right? This has 60 seats. It needs service and buses, and the kitchen has to cook. So the times have been extended. The shifts have been extended. We open from 6 a.m. in the morning serving coffee, and our last movie go is doubled our employment. All right? And we're very proud to employ Bahamians. And everybody in this facility will be Bahamians, no expat workers.
Bridgewater, the chief legal advisor, game room, one for kids and one for bigger kids, also provides an option for parents who want to leave their kids in the care of trained specialists. However, will Bahamians buy into what the Plex has to offer? Bridgewater addressed the idea that Bahamians only like attraction.
From the west, we have a budding community in Carmichael all around us that will be coming, and we believe that they will be patronizing the facility because it's not only something new, it's something innovative, and we know that our people love new things. They come out, but we're going to bring them here, and they're going to stay here, and they're going to go, and they're going to come back. So we do believe that we have a great advantage.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jared Higgs.
A new UN report on climate change says time is running out to honor the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature rise agreed in Paris in 2016. It's calling for urgent transformational changes to avoid disastrous levels of global warming. Here's more from Al Jazeera.
The threat's been clear and present for many years. Climate change caused by human activity is putting our very survival in peril. Now the UN's climate change body says concerted action needs to come much sooner than previously thought.
Early action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions is possible. There are options available. There are signs that mitigation is going on. But if this is to be achieved, there's an urgent need to accelerate.
3 years ago at the Paris Climate Change Conference, many governments gave themselves a pat on the back. They'd pledged to take action to limit temperature rises to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Now the experts say they're failing and time is running out, with steep cuts in other greenhouse gases like methane.
It's a question of whether we can make certain decisions in the coming years where the beneficiaries are going to be our children and our grandchildren and several coming generations.
The IPCC says by the end of this century, global sea level rises would be 10 centimetres lower with warming of 1.5 degrees compared to 2 degrees. And the Arctic is likely to be ice-free in summer around once a century at 1.5 degrees, but at least once a decade if warming reaches 2 degrees. None of this is academic. Faster action will reduce flooding, giving people living on the world's coasts, islands and river deltas time to adapt to climate change. Then there are the millions affected by drought, many on the African continent.
We need to look at climate financing strategies that ensure that we sort of speed up climate action related to issues like agriculture, food security, livelihoods and migrations. And that's because migration is no longer a choice for lots of people in the continent. It is now a must because of global warming.
The IPCC report says renewable energy must account for at least 70% of electricity by 2050, compared with 25% now, to stay within the 1.5 degree limit. Carbon will have to be sucked out of the air by machines and stored underground, and billions of trees will have to be planted. And there'll be tough choices between using land for food or for biofuel crops. We've been shown the solutions, now it's over to our politicians and to us. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera.
Stay with us. Talking Stocks comes up next.
Growth Tech is making connectivity like oxygen. Wherever you see the Growth Tech free Wi-Fi, feel free to connect. Watch, connect, and go, allowing you to chat, check, browse, and email securely. So when you're on the go and need to connect with friends, family, or a team member, or just stay updated, look for Growth Tech's free Wi-Fi. Growth Tech, making connectivity like oxygen.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back. Time now for Talking Stocks. 55 stocks traded today, of which 23 advanced, 21 declined, and 11 traded firm. The main JSE index declined by 957 points to close at over 378,000 points. The junior index advanced by 9 points to close at 3,425. 14.9 million units traded today, valued at over $236 million on the Jamaican dollar market, while on the U.S. dollar market, more than 54,000 units traded, valued at $8,376 US dollars. Wisynco Group, with 10 million units trading, accounted for 67% of market volume. NCB Financial, with some 609,000 units trading, was second. Jamaica Producers, with over 551,000 units trading, was third, accounting for almost 4% of market volume. The main advancers were Consolidated Bakeries, up 40 cents to close at $2.40. Sterling Investments, up $2.59 to close at $25. Jamaica Broilers Group, up $3.08 to close at $32.96. The main decliners were Scotia Group Jamaica, down $4.05 to close at $57.30. Followed by SSL Venture Capital Jamaica, down 12 cents to close at $2.22, and Pulse Investments down 11 cents to close at $2.34. In foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar lost ground to the U.S., but gained on the Canadian dollar and the pound sterling today. The U.S. dollar ended the day trading for an average $133.99, gaining 19 cents to the Jamaican dollar. The Canadian dollar ended the day selling for $102.71, losing $1 to the Jamaican, and the British pound sold for $173.23, losing 54 cents to the Jamaican dollar. And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of our top story. After a week on strike, workers on Mandela Highway returned to work over the weekend. That's the news. Thanks for watching. For more content, visit our website at batvja.com. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Pleasant viewing.
My name is Safri Brown, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Hi, I'm Roderick Francis, CEO of B&D Trawling Limited. The business was actually started by my father about 35 years ago. And, when he died in 2011, I officially took over the spot as head of the business, but I've been working with him in the business for over 10 years prior to his death. We have been established from 1980, and my father has always been involved in boating and boats, and his father was a marine pilot, so he's been around boats all his life and fishing all his life. So at that point in time, I guess he wanted to make a commercial activity out of it, and people love seafood, so I guess it was a natural transition for him. My dad funded it out of pocket. He already had some boats, so started with his boats that he had, and then when he was able, he purchased, really specific kind of commercial fishing boats, and then took it from there. B&D Trawling's mandate is to provide the highest quality seafood to the global marketplace. So the two main items that we export all over the world are conch and lobsters. They're all fished in the Jamaican waters, and we're also recently fishing deep water snappers as well. We cater to the seafood lovers and people who love quality seafood. There's a trend around the world for healthy food now, and the thing is that Jamaicans don't understand what they really have. So what we have is pristine, untouched waters. So there are people all over the world that come and are looking for fish and seafood that are grown naturally in a healthy environment. So we produce quality Jamaican products and export it all over the world. So we export to China, we export to USA, Canada, Singapore, Thailand, all over. We've recently started the importation of some products that are not available locally here. So we have partnered with a major seafood distributor in the US, which we have been exporting to for over 30 years by the name of Beaver Street. Their brand is Seabest, and we have been packaging products under their brand for over 30 years. And it was just a natural progression for us to start distributing the brand here in Jamaica, including the Jamaican line of products as well as other products that are not locally available here, such as salmon and shrimp and scallops. What makes us unique is that, you know, we sell our product to the first world. So Jamaicans on a whole love quality seafood. That's why they go to the beach and stand up and wait for the fisherman to come with his boat and come up and they get it fresh there. So what we are doing and what makes us different is we really try to bring that to the customer without the hassle. So, you know, you don't have to go down to the beach to fight for your fish. You can come to our outlet, you can come and you can get the same quality that you get there, or even better, at an affordable price and in a great environment. So what makes us different, what makes us competitive? Mainly, again, the quality of our produce. So initially, the funding was put up by my father, but one of the great growers or facilitators of our business has been our partner, Exim Bank, and really they have helped us to really grow the company rapidly in the direction that we have wanted, with, you know, low-cost financing, US dollar loans and things like that. We are a profitable company, and we continue to grow our product range and product line, so we're on a very good profitable path. Where our business is located is very strategic. We're located on the port of Kingston, which is strategic not only for vessels to dock here, but also in close proximity to the airport, as well as to the Kingston Wharves and Kingston Container Terminal, which most of our goods go out on. So it's very strategic. It also helps us to increase the quality of our product, because usually there may be one other plant in Jamaica that is located on the waterfront. So what this does for us is increase the quality that we're able to produce. So it comes directly from the boat into the plant instead of coming by boat, then travel by land and going everywhere. So that's how we keep our quality increased as well. We employ over 200 persons here, and there are mostly women from the inner city communities or surrounding communities. And we very much believe in community development and supporting our surrounding communities. So the first place we look is right in our neighboring communities, where you know, jobs are hard to find. And we look there and we have been very happy with the quality of workmanship which we have got so far. In the management level now, we look for the best people, because I believe, for me, no matter what it costs, to have the best people. And it goes all around. I'm not saying that the lower level people are not the best. Yes, we do have some of the best people in the fishing industry here that come from the inner city communities, yes, as well. But we look for, on the higher level, we look for education is very, very important. Experience is very, very important on the higher level. The majority of the workers are based in our processing plant. So they would have several divisions of the processing plant. So all throughout the process, so they would come in, you would have ladies filleting or cutting the product. Then you would have people washing the product. Then you would have people weighing the product. Then you would have people bagging the product all the way through to the end process, and until it's loaded into a container and shipped. Our culture is definitely family-oriented. When my dad started this business and he was here, you know, he was very much a family man, and everybody, every employee that has been here, some of them from the beginning, we still have employees that have been here for 35 years with us. And it's just a family environment. We can have an open door policy. Anybody can come and talk, and any issue, it can be outside of business, anything. And we all come together and help each other when we need it. Typically, I work about 12 hours per day. So about 9 to 9 in office. And then, you know, plant workers work on a shift basis as well. So some persons may come in at 6 o'clock and leave earlier. Some may come in at 10 and leave later. So it's flexi hours, and sometimes during the lobster season, or most times, we have a night shift as well. Being an entrepreneur is very tough, especially a business owner, and time management is a very, very tough task. So the major challenge will be to balance, you know, work and life, and, you know, home life, and being a young family member, or I would say having a young family, it's very, very tough, and you have to kind of carve out time for your family and make sure that you make that time, because basically it's your business, you're so enthusiastic about it, you want it to succeed, and then so you put all your time and your effort and everything into it, and really try to keep it as vibrant as possible. And a lot of the times when you do that, you know, your personal life suffers. So the challenge now is being able to really create that balance.
GrowthTech is making connectivity like oxygen. Wherever you see the GrowthTech free Wi-Fi, feel free to connect. Watch, connect, and go, allowing you to chat, check, browse, and email securely. So when you're on the go and need to connect with friends, family, or a team member, or just stay updated, look for GrowthTech's free Wi-Fi. GrowthTech, making connectivity like oxygen. As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 crawl spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point. With Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues. Offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
As CEO, you always really want to think about the big ideas. Where do you want to take the company? What is your vision? And what are your goals? So, I spend a lot of time sitting down and thinking about where we want to go and what we want to do. And out of that, then the ideas come. So you kind of focus on the consumer, focus on the market and see where it's shifting, see where it's going to be tomorrow, and kind of innovate before, so that when the market shifts, you'll be in that position to really take advantage of the market. The most important thing for us here, we're competing on a global market. We're competing in first world companies. We mainly ship to Europe, so these people know seafood, they know quality products, and you really have to have a quality product. That's number one. Number two, if you're talking about retail or service, the customer experience has to be good. So one of the things we focus on really in our pop-up kitchen that we do once a month is really focusing on an authentic experience. So when you come down, you can really feel a natural Jamaican environment and all local produce, and really get that natural feel that the customer will feel at home and want to come back. Being an entrepreneur and running your own business, there are going to be challenges every day. If you don't have challenges every day, then there's a problem. But it's just how you deal with those challenges. Being a primarily export company, our main challenges are red tape issues, or having a competitive environment here. So when I speak about competitive environment, again, we're competing on a global marketplace. So our competitors have access to cheap fuel, cheap electricity, cheap labor, all of those things. That's what we're competing against. And Jamaica doesn't necessarily have some of those items. So you really have to kind of be innovative and creative and try to, get in a niche where you can create that efficiency to be able to compete globally. My failures have been too many to mention, so I'm not going to really single out any failure, but I can say, I fail all the time, and anybody who doesn't fail or hasn't failed I can say, has never been or never will be successful. So failure is not the problem, is how you recover from failure. And that's one of the main success factors of an entrepreneur. So the successful people, they will learn from their failures, and what John C. Maxwell would say is fail forward. So you would fail and build up from it. Now, if you fail and you keep making the same mistakes over and over, then you're going to be in a problem. So it's just how you react to the failures and how you overcome them and keep going. You try to prevent as many mistakes as possible, but it's part of the failure. You can't prevent mistakes. Mistakes will happen, things will happen, markets will change, everything will change, and you just have to react, and you have to react quickly and in a positive way. So you can't really say that you're going to stop mistakes. Again, you don't want to repeat the mistakes. You make it one time and you put measures in place not to make those mistakes. But it's just a simple, continuous improvement process that you keep going on, and little by little you improve, and minimize the mistakes. Well, definitely growth strategies. We're looking at now diversifying our product range. So a big part of what we do is export, but we have never primarily been in the local market or distributed in the local market. So we have just started that now to actually distribute in the local market, and the actual response has been overwhelming. So, you know, what we do is basically to grow, we now expand into different areas and looking now at acquisitions and things like that to grow the company. Our most successful form of marketing thus far has been social media. It's really on the cutting edge right now. Jamaica, being lovers of phones, lovers of TV and computers and that kind of stuff, you know, social media is really taking it to the next level now. And really, if you want to stay on top of your game and grow your business here and overseas, the best tool right now, most effective tool is social media. Right now, for social media, one of the biggest tools that we use are video and actually, you know, cooking tutorials, things like that, you know, which get people engaged and get them trying your product and testing it and reviewing it and that kind of stuff. So definitely moving more towards video. For me, I'm willing to go to the ends of the earth to succeed, because for me, failure is not an option. I must succeed, I will succeed, and for me, as long as I keep that attitude, I will succeed. One of the best things you can do, or one of the main laws for success, is having a positive attitude. I really can't stress it enough. But there's a book, one of my favorite books, called The Law of Success, written by Napoleon Hill. And anybody who is really interested in being successful, they really need to read that book. And it lays out really all the different points of what becoming successful entails and how you get there. But one of the main things, of course, is knowing where you want to go, knowing what you want to do, and keeping it on the forefront of your mind, and just pushing every day to achieve that goal. I define success as, you know, balance. And, you know, when I mean balance, sometimes people value success as having money or having, you know, material things. I don't really view that as success. For me, success, I view it as being to help people. So I have a business so that people can be employed and generate, you know, income, that kind of stuff, and have a healthy lifestyle. So when I talk about successful, I talk about having good relationships with your family, having a balanced lifestyle, healthy lifestyle in terms of, you know, just the food you eat, everything, you know. So success for me is a balance of work, personal life, and charitable things. Of course, I have fears, you know. My greatest fear, I would say, you know, there's always a fear of going out of business or you know, that kind of fear. But, you know, I don't really fear it. The fear is there, is always in the back of your mind, and that's why you always have to, you know, be on top of your game, really push hard to be, you know, successful in business and really stay on top of the things that make your business successful. So it's there in the back of my mind, pushing me like with a stick there to you know, keep doing my best, keep going the extra mile. But failure, or, you know, it fuels me.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
If you want to be successful, you really have to have what Mr. Hill would call a definite purpose. So what it really is where you want to go, what you want to do, where you want to, where you want to be. That's what fuels me. I have a goal. As CEO, you set the large targets. And, once you set that large targets, then you're going to have to set some smaller targets along the way. So what fuels me is really achieving those goals. So you set those goals and you achieve them. Basically, it really fuels you. So it gives you a boost when you achieve a goal and you know that you're on the right path and you know that you're getting somewhere. So that's what really fuels me. I have many inspirers, but first and foremost, I look to my dad and his legacy and really upholding his legacy and really what he brought to the table. So, he inspires me and had always inspired me to do better than he did and carry it to the next level. And, we've been trying and been really doing well at that. So, inspire. Yes, start with my father, and then, there are many persons. You have Martin Luther King, you have Barack Obama, you have all these really positive people that, you gain inspiration over time with, and, you're trying to align yourself with their ideals and just push forward. Favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is the kind of shifting landscape and the thrill of actually owning your own business and knowing that what you put in is directly related what you're going to get out of it. So you really spend a lot of time putting in a lot of energy, knowing that you're going to get the results. I attribute my success mainly to my team. Number one, you have to have a solid team. So you really have to have the best people on board and you really have to be aligned and work well and mesh well together on a common goal and really move forward together. I don't have one event that I can single out to say that has been my most satisfying moment. You go back and you look at it and you set your overall large goal, and in between you have your small goals. And the most satisfying moments are when you achieve your milestones or your small goals along the way, and it really gratifies you. I mean, any entrepreneur, any business owner is going to have to make many sacrifices. You make sacrifices in time, you make sacrifices in money, you make all sorts of sacrifices. And believe me, I don't think there's a time when you stop sacrificing. But the challenge is really to create a balance. So, now, you really invest a lot of your time into your business, and you really have to try and and spend some time with the family as well, and really know that business is not everything in life, even though you really want to push and remain successful. Non-work time, I'm a seaman, so love to go out on the boats or go out on the water, that kind of stuff. I really enjoy doing that. What makes me happy? Being healthy, having a great family, that really makes me happy, and achieving my goals. Well, future plans, definitely we want to, on a smaller scale, open up a 5-star seafood restaurant down here on the downtown Kingston waterfront. We're looking at building a new plant, which will cost us about $20 million US, state-of-the-art plant. So we're looking to expand, we're looking to do new things, but remain focused on export so we can really bring in that foreign exchange and stop the sliding dollar. So if you want to start your own business, my first piece of advice would be to get your education. Education is extremely important in an extremely competitive business environment. So number one, get a college education. Number two, you need to always go the extra mile. So if you want to start your business, you really have to go over and above and go the extra mile in doing your business. Third, don't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail, and it's just how you react to those failures which will make the difference between your success and the other person. So you really need to push forward and just don't give up. Number one, just don't give up. Keep pushing.
As a teacher for over 8 years, we need to realize that the children are our future. We need to love them, appreciate and respect our children. No more violence against children. No more!
Hi, I'm Richard Panduit, CEO for the Separate Group of Companies. You're watching Business Access TV. We're serious about business.
Oftentimes, we see the end product of a development, from that breathtaking beachfront property to that striking single-family home, or even that majestic townhouse or apartment. But have you ever considered the process before the product? It's another week of Home Sweet Home with me, your host, Candy. Let's take you on a journey from concept to reality of a development. Here from Home Sweet Home.
Hi Candy.
Hi Raymond, good to see you again.
Welcome, welcome. All right, so today we're going to go through on a little tour.
This is nice.
Your safety gears, safety at all times.
Yes.
essentially this is our site plan.
Right.
This is the proper orientation of it.
Right.
So there's the pool right there. Is actually 1,300 square feet.
Wow, it's a good size. Raymond Grant is the project manager for this development. Now, Raymond, where exactly are we right now?
Right now, we are in the Golden Triangle, 1 Gladstone Drive, Kingston 6.
Kingston
One of
6.
the most
sought after
areas now for apartments especially.
Now I want to get a complete understanding of the development of a development.
Sure.
So the background process, all the legal things that you probably have to go through, give us a sense of what that's like.
So this project is called Richesse Chateau. It's a French concept. Richesse meaning wealth and chateau meaning like a grand manor or a castle. So we're trying to replicate that. But before we got to that point, we had to first understand if the market could accommodate such a development, if the market has a demand based on the time period that the project would be delivered to be able to satisfy. So at the end of the project, at the very least, we would have potential purchasers who would actually purchase to make the project a reality. So the process of actually doing a development like this first starts with understanding the ability of getting a buyer who has an appreciation for the type of finishing that you're going to be putting in the market. Persons who want high quality, they tend to go for smaller complexes. So what it does is that it limits the amount of persons that are residing in that one space, because in a strata development, it's really more like a communal living. So the concept here is a communal living, but you have your own designated space.
Right.
So we went about checking out, doing our research, understanding what were persons looking for. They wanted high ceilings, they wanted 10-foot ceilings, they wanted tray ceilings, they wanted recessed lighting, they wanted audio in their ceilings, they wanted speakers to project sound down, right? In addition to that, in terms of the finishing, in terms of the type of tiles. So what we did is that we went ahead and we actually imported tiles from Spain as samples and Egypt. So what we're actually bringing on the market now is something that has never been seen before. We have the ability to scope in terms of from a pool of potential purchasers what they want, and what we are able to do based on that is actually bring the purchaser into the process to determine the finishing that they want on the units. So it's essentially tailor-made. So what we do is maintain the quality. Even though we bring the buyer in, we maintain the quality of the product that we are putting out.
So you've obviously done your market research.
Right.
What would you say is the importance of location in the development?
One of the most important factors for a developer is, will the developer be able to connect into the central sewage system? The National Environment and Planning Agency, they regulate how the urban space is expanding, right? Location has necessary elements to it. You have to be able to provide a certain amount of parking. You have to be able to provide a certain amount of amenity space for your purchasers. For a developer to be able to maximize on his output, he has to try and find a location where he can get connection to a central sewer. Because if he's not able to connect to a central sewer, then he has to set aside additional space on the property to do an on-site sewage treatment, which requires a certain amount of space by the authorities. So that automatically reduces the amount of units that a developer can get. So the location and the ability to have the sewage in particular gives the developer better opportunity to get returns on his investment, right? So that is something that's very important, because for most of us as developers, we have to write to the National Environment and Planning Agency or the KCAC as well for them to guide us as to how many units we may get on a particular lot. Because in addition to that, there is a zoning plan that NEPA has. So in terms of what we call a habitable room ratio, that is a measurement done based on the acreage. So we go from as low as in the more rural areas, we would say like 20 habitable rooms per acre. So that's the maximum amount of habitable rooms that you may get, on average 30. But as you get closer into the heart of the city, for example in New Kingston, you can get up to 150 habitable rooms per acre. So again, the location element is very important there.
Now, living in these modern times, what kind of considerations do you have to make when building these things?
You have to understand that the market is competitive. It's not a case where you're the only developer out there. You are putting out a product. That product has to compete with other products, so you have to ensure that your product is a step ahead, or that there's a minimum bar that you set, that you maintain that throughout the process. So in doing development, no terrazzo. We have to go for the exquisite tiles. And even if you are doing a lower end development that caters to persons of a lower median income, you still have a minimum that you'll go.
Right.
For example, for our units, all our units are pre-fitted with services for laundry, air conditioning, and all the essential services, the cable, the internet, and so on. Every unit has access, right, to 400 gallons of water.
Okay, wow.
Right? That's run separately for them. So if for whatever reason the National Water Commission is down for a day or two, you can get that.
So this is the modern day version of a tank?
Essentially. But the tank is not as would be traditional.
Right, that's what I mean. It's not the...
It's this guys, you would never know where it is.
So it's not the big black tank we see up on
you will
top
never
of the
know
roof
where
there.
it is, and I won't tell you where it is, but it is on site, right? Okay. So we have that. Separately, standby generator. Right. Typical of a lot of developments now, you will have a standby generator, but it only accommodates the common areas, lighting for the common areas. But in terms of our development that we're doing now, you will get a standby generator that goes into your unit and gives power to your refrigerator and power to your bedroom and so on. Just to note, as a developer, if he's going 4 stories or more, there's a new regulation now by the fire department, and that developer now has to put in a fire suppression system in order to get his plan approved. So that's like a sprinkler system. So the more you go as a developer now, the regulations will basically be adjusted, and you have to be able to stay in the know as a developer with the local authorities to ensure that you are not breaching any of the regulations that they have set up.
Wow, that's really a lot of information, but I know we have more coming, right?
Absolutely.
So stay with us, there's more Home Sweet Home after the break.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Welcome back to Home Sweet Home. We're still talking with Raymond Grant about his Gladstone Drive development and, of course, from concept to completion of this project. Now, you've touched on this a little in one of your previous answers, but I've always heard about the number of approvals you have to get before starting a development.
Yes.
Give us a little more about that.
It's a very complicated process, but for those of us who know and understand, you may see a development as an individual from the aspect of the construction. It may be a year, maybe 2 years, but prior to getting that construction started, there is an approvals process that starts from the developer acquires, prepares his drawings, submits them to the whichever respective local authority depending on the parish that he's in. If you are a developer doing 9 units or less, then you would just submit your plans directly to the KCAC and be approved from the KCAC only. If you're doing 10 units or more, when you submit to the KCAC, those plans are forwarded to the National Environment and Plan Agency. They're scrutinized more in terms of the process, because NEPA then in turn circulates these plans to a lot of other agencies, as much as 12 additional agencies, to assess sewage, to assess your parking, to assess your ingress egress for your cars coming in. Different aspects. They go to the Mines and Geology Division to assess your rock formation. So there's a complete process that goes on for the approvals, and depending on what information you provided in your application and depending on the type of design that you have, they may require additional information, additional testing, soil tests. So a lot goes into that aspect of just that aspect of the process.
We just see the construction and
you
think
just see the construction and think that's it. Good.
A long time coming.
And then separately and apart from that, when you actually get an approval by the local authority, you then have to assess what was approved and assess your certificate of title to see if you need to modify any of the covenants on your certificate of title. And that process is a process that goes through the Supreme Courts. And that is a minimum of 90 days by itself. When you go through that process, provided that you get approved by the courts to make changes or modifications to accommodate development, then you would go to the real estate board to get approved by the real estate board. And for us as developers, we endeavor to get approved by the real estate board because that is the time when we can actually engage purchasers and get deposits from purchasers and so on. And those deposits are protected by the act under which the real estate board operates. So in terms of that process where you have the local authorities coming up the line, essentially making sure that everything is, how it is supposed to be, we come right up onto the point where we have our full set of approvals, and then we engage and get into the aspect of construction.
Based on how comprehensive that process is, it would seem that you need a lot of people, a lot of professionals here to assist with the development.
Absolutely. We start off essentially by engaging a physical planner, an urban planner, somebody who understands density, understands what we are able to get as a developer, having conducted our own market research, where sometimes we have to hire a market research firm to make that determination as to what is best for the area, what is best, what is the demand now on the market, and so on. So we have an architect that we would engage, and then we have engineers, and not just a civil engineer in terms of the design for the building, in terms of the structural integrity of the building, but we also have mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers. They're called MEPs, that do specific designs for each building, each unit, to ensure that, for example, on the electrical engineering aspect, the loads that are being generated can be handled based on the system that is designed. So, for example, our developments bring in a certain amount of standby electricity to each unit, requires us speccing a larger grade standby generator, as opposed to if we were just providing common area lighting. The electrical aspect of it is tied into the plumbing as well. So our plumbing engineer sets up that system for us, because we know that above 2 floors, we are not getting more than 50 psi in terms of the water pressure for the units. So we have to have a specific system design that is able to provide a certain amount of water pressure for units as you go 3-4 floors up. So these professionals, in terms of the design aspect, they also work together to bring that design to life. Then separately and apart, we have to have our land surveyor that assesses in terms of our boundary surveys, or topographic surveys. They set up the levels in terms of how we're going to set up the floor level for the building, because the land may not be flat. And also, that surveyor does what is called a strata plan. So when the units are complete in an apartment complex, that surveyor comes in and prepares a plan to capture all those units, right? So that we can get the title splintered to generate individual titles for the new units. And that's where the attorney at law also comes in to undertake the modification process that I had mentioned earlier. So the attorney at law would undertake, of course, aspects of the acquisition of the property. And then throughout the process, in terms of the contracts with the potential purchasers, in terms of doing the strata aspect, getting the parent title splintered and so on. So we have the attorney at law engaged there. In addition to that, we also have the quantity surveyor, who is the QS, as we call him. The quantity surveyor, they assess the cost of the building in terms of block, sand, cement, gravel, labor materials, and all those essentials. So when the architect designs a plan, then we put that plan over to the quantity surveyor, and the quantity surveyor will say, okay, this is the cost. This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building. This is an example for the project that we are now of quantities for this project and what it entails. It's a huge document, and like I said, it includes all the essentials of the project. It covers every aspect from where construction is concerned. So all the costs for the project are contained in here. So this is our budget for the project. It's a process where the professionals work in stages sometimes together, and that is an essential part, because you have to get that gel in order to get that finish. So in terms of what we have been able to achieve so far, we have a team that works on different projects at different times. So they're able now to understand, persons can engage, because when you find one issue, for example, for the plumber, at times that issue is going to affect the electrician. And the solution for the plumber may also mean that the electrician is going to have to make adjustments as well. And sometimes we have to bring our architects on site as we go through to find some solutions, because that's really the nature of construction.
Don't go anywhere. Home Sweet Home will be right back.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 crawl spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back to Home Sweet Home. We're still talking with Raymond Grant about his Gladstone Drive development from concept to completion.
Right.
And I now want to get into site prep. What does that involve?
Okay, the site prep is the aspect of the project where we take possession of the site to commence activities, but not the actual construction.
Right.
So what we do in that regard is we scope the site, we decide where we're going to be setting up our site office, we decide where we're going to be setting up our work amenities, right? In terms of our power supply that we may need to upgrade to accommodate the site works, water supply as well, in terms of how much we're going to need, is there a connection existing already, is it sufficient to meet the demands that we're going to have on the site. In this case, luckily, there was a 4-bedroom house that had galvanized sheets in terms of the roofing. So what we were able to do was to deconstruct the house, remove the roofing, and use that roofing to create the hoarding that's necessary to create privacy and to prevent and reduce some of the nuisance to the neighbors and so on in terms of the construction with dust and noise and so on. So we were able to utilize in terms of the deconstruction, because some persons would think that you just go and you bulldoze a house down and you're gone, you know, on your merry way, but that's really not the process. So we start with deconstruction, stripping the house, getting out things that can be reused on other locations or so on. The roof, if it can be removed, remove the roof and so on. We have reused some of the burglar bars from the house on the container here. Some of the cupboards from the house we have reused. And in terms of the work amenity space, the water closets, the face basins and so on, we have reused most of those back for the workers, right? So our workers, because from time to time we have workers that come from out of town that have to sleep on site. So we ensure that they have good facilities in terms of how they operate and so on. So there's a benefit of using that process on your bottom dollar essentially. And then we set up our hoarding, simultaneously setting up our electricals. In this case, we had to set up our utility pole, relocate the meter from the house, set it up on the pole, and we actually brought in the containers that we are in now, believe it or not. And this was set up from scratch, where we got this container and we set it up to operate as our office. Because this is nice, right? Far site. In here. Yeah. Okay, cool.